Now this is where the Altis excels. I'm off-road. That was 45 miles an hour through this kind of potholy. It looks smooth, but there's these holes like I'm going right through here. That was 45, all of 45 miles an hour. And the suspension was just soaking it up. So this is where the Altis outshines my Sur-on.
Beg, please get on your knees. Came from the jungle, up in the trees. I got a few tricks up in the sleeve. One wrong move, I'ma let out the big shoes, check out the crease. Blow like I'm Bigfoot, step on the beat. Make a man's run till he step out the cleats when the whole place.
All right, Altis Sigma MX. Here's where I've been wanting to get to. Little off-road area. And just want to get out in the woods and play a little bit before the sun goes down. It's not a fast trail here, just because there can be hikers, there can be mountain bikers and such. It feels good over the roots. Little bumps through here. You can see it's a little wet. These tires, stock rubber, is holding up just fine. If someone's behind me, I could easily roost them, but the moto seat, the suspension, everything feels good. The little chatter you hear there is the lower chain guard that, as the chain goes up, bounces. There's like a lower chain guard, chain guide.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
It's good, it's smooth. I can ride through this sitting or standing. Certainly roots through here, which getting up to speed on the Sur-on was just hard hits.
Like fire on the pine. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace.
Dead end, but here is where reverse comes in handy. Hey there, doing good. Nice day, everybody's friendly.
Like fire on the pine. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Beg, please get on your knees.
A little more technical trail. Oh, but super smooth.
Check out the crease. Blow like I'm Bigfoot, step on the beat. Make a man's run till he step out the cleats. When the whole place scream, gotta get out the. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man so tough, but mans keep walking. Yeah, dressed too sharp with the prize. Right girls, better tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Stop that.
Yeah, this feels great off-road. I mean, it's what it's designed for. I haven't found anything I don't like or hasn't handled well. This weight is just planted but maneuverable. So single tracks, completely good. There's all the torque at the throttle you could want. I mean, you could grab too much and send it off the trail. Little hill climb with roots, no problem. And that's what I'm starting to remember coming off the Sur-on off-road and having to be so selective with your line, having to, you couldn't just grab the throttle and eat up any bumps as you hit it. Whereas on the Altis, I can just point it, let that momentum carry me, and it's eating it up. I'm sure we'll reach a point to where we're maxing everything out. suspension wise, but these trails are not it. And it's flickable. The center of gravity's low. Straight through the roots. It soaks it up. I'm not talking much because there's not much to say. All is well. More power than I need. The ride is as smooth as I could ask it to be. The weight of the bike on the trail is appreciated. It feels good. It is planted is the word. Smooth. I've got torque 100%. I'm in sport. And my throttle is medium.
Hey baby, all I want is to be loved by you.
I thought that was you. I was like, I'll catch him.
Did you know I was here?
No, I just saw y'all. I just came out.
That's crazy. I meant to
So-
tell you. But I like that. I didn't.
I just got it. Yeah, thank you. I did. All's well. Yeah, it's the first like off-road. So I did Greenway and then I came here and everything. And y'all were going fast.
I know.
I saw y'all right as you went in. I was like, oh, they'll be right there. And then like 3 corners.
I think we were like at 19 on that first one.
Nice. Well, don't let me slow you down. All right. All
Are
right.
you gonna do the whole trail?
Yeah. My wife and her friend are out mountain biking. So look at that. E-bikes and mountain bikes can coexist. All right, so why the Altis? I had my Sur-On, I had Supermoto wheels on it stock. My battery was the old, like 32 amp hour battery. And as I've said before, I was in the 7,000s in miles. So I put a Torque TC500 stock battery and it woke the bike right up. I loved it. Little larger sprocket and I got more power and I didn't sacrifice any range. So naturally I rode that for a season and was ready for a battery. I had some options by the time I got serious about getting a battery. It was this summer. I had been keeping an eye out. I didn't find one. The one that I wanted was out of stock. I would have pulled the trigger on an e-watt 72, 42 amp hour. I would have slapped that on my bike and I would have been happy. I would have been very happy. And then e-rides, I started looking around, seeing that there were other options outside of the Sur-On that came with 72 volt batteries stock. E-Ride Pro SS and just a couple others. Regular suspects, the Throne. There were just options. So there were other options. I was about to spend another $2,000 on my Sur-On and I was really gonna have more money in it than I wanted to. I think I figured it out. Stock before the battery, I had about 52, 57 something $100. So I would have had $7,700 over 7 grand into my Sur-On and I would have loved it. My suspension was clapped. I had upgraded brakes, but the brakes were mountain bike caliper brakes. I had a larger rotor, all that stuff. So my brakes were good, but they would have brake fade as a ride went on, 45 minutes or so into it. So I'm looking around, I'm trying to figure out what to do, and I'm doing the math, and then this video comes out, Sur-Onster Rev Ride, same day, about the Altis. And so the video comes out and it checks all the boxes. Now, what made me order the bike was the price, $5,499, no sales tax, $200 shipping. The price was there, and I pulled the trigger when I saw that my stock components from the Sur-Ron were all gonna fit the Altis. So I'm thinking my Supermoto wheels, any upgraded parts from my Sur-Ron, Warp 9 bars, possibly a Torp. Anyway, that some of that was going to transfer over. Didn't end up being the case. These wheels, I'm super happy with. The hubs are proprietary, new hubs, so I don't have any wheel options at the moment. So I learned that after the fact. Am I unhappy with any of that? No. It just is what it is. I took my Sur-Ron and took all the upgraded parts off of it. When you guys are upgrading your e-bikes, keep the stock parts. You do not get, when you go to resell your bike, you do not get your used value plus the cost of your upgrades. People buy the bikes at the lowest price possible. When you buy a complete bike, that's going to be your lowest price, and they don't care what you put on it because they're just going to upgrade it with what they want and make it theirs. So when you upgrade your bike, hold on to the stock parts so that way you can sell your stock bike at the best price possible, and you'll get a better return on your upgrades selling them individually. Because if you've got an extra set of handlebars, an extra set of brake, an extra controller especially, that's what's in demand, and you'll get a good price for them. I just always do half price, half retail, and go from there. My controller, I got a good deal on it, so I just passed it forward. $1,000 controller, I sold for like $750 with all the bits and bobs. Put my Sur-Ron back to stock, ended up selling it. I put it on Marketplace at $2,999, so I got 7,500 miles out of it, and I sold it for $1,200 less than I bought it for. So 4 seasons of riding, $1,200 was reasonable in my mind, and that $299 point made me the lowest price on Marketplace. When I met the kid, drove up from Miami, we met in the middle. He immediately jumped on it and hit a knee knocker, and he was off to the races. He loved it. He took my pegs. I had pegs on it, my rear axle pegs, just for stunting. And he took upgraded brakes, which I just had priced out individually. And he grabbed what he wanted. I had 2 handlebars. I had blue Warp 9s, and I had a black Pro Taper. I showed him the Warp 9s. Didn't think he was serious about a handlebar. And he said, oh, I'm just going to get a black Pro Taper. Oh, so I just reached into my parts bin and said, like these? And he was stoked, grabbed it. So whatever, that ended up being like $3,200 or whatever. He took everything, and he was stoked. I ended up putting my controller on Marketplace. Somebody from Orlando came. A boyfriend and a girlfriend came. He had an Ultra B. She had a Light B. And they had both been talking to me independent of each other. The boyfriend was trying to buy it as a surprise for her, and she was trying to drive up and get it before this other guy, who ended up being her boyfriend, could get it, because she had been looking, and it was literally the only controller on Marketplace you could get. So it took some time. It was probably a over a 2-month time. I got rid of everything, had put the deposit on the Altis, which wasn't much. I bought it from hyperrides.com. They were good to me. I had a lot of pre-sales questions, as everybody did, and they answered everything. All was well. They're just the dealer. They didn't design the bike. They didn't ship the bike from China. They were just sitting waiting like we were. So longer story, even longer, I sold my Sur-On, and for $1,000 more than a new stock Sur-On, I got the Altis here. Starting fresh platform, new riding style, more opportunity for off-road, which I'm excited about. And I keep harping on the Supermoto. As soon as they come here, I'm going to be very excited for urban street wheelies and everything as we go. So that's kind of the story of how the Altis came to be. Very excited. I do like it. The more I ride it, the less and less I think about it. So if I'm riding my bike and not thinking about my bike, that is a win. That is what I'm looking for. The only thing I've noticed today is that my seat, a couple times when I was bouncing around the most, my seat came unlatched. I simply put my butt down and pushed it down, and all was well. But that was the only thing. All right, so that's the story of how the Altis Sigma MX came into my life. It's my only well, that's not true. We've got a Crew Dart at the house, a 50 or 48 volt, 13 amp hour e-BMX, which is a lot of fun in its own regard. So I'm in my first, what does my odometer say? 95 miles. So I'll hit my first 100 miles today, and trying to think what more I can say. Off-road, this is a dream. It's everything I was asking for. Right now I've put it into normal mode just to see what the difference is. While it's got a little less initial torque, initial power, it's still smooth. All of these modes, street, off-road, otherwise, this throttle has been excellent. The tune on this bike is great. Oh yeah, right there. I had enough speed, but I'm not gonna pop my wheel up. So I'm gonna go back over to sport, just to be able to pop my wheel up when those roots come. Normal's gonna be rolling through it, where sport, you can throw a little wheelie in there as needed. There you go, yeah. Sport adds the sport. This technical off-road, there's no need for race mode. There we go, cleared that. Good rip, good times. I'll update the range, distance, and everything when we get back. So, Tommy Moto, Sigma Alta MX, single track off-road, got it done.